In my recent Schwinn aluminum comp video, I mentioned how a pair of Sarah socks eventually led to that bike, and in a larger context, how that relates to Pacific Cycle. With Pacific Cycle in mind, we've all had questions about big box bikes. And what I'm about to present here, at the very least, this is a rare chance, but I think it's a big deal. Before I get to that, and everyone hang with me for just a minute, but I want to make sure that everyone knows what I'm talking about when I say Pacific Cycle. They're a division of a company called Durrell Industries, and Durrell is a large company, and they're based in Quebec, or Quebec for most Americans. And Durrell's one of those companies that's big enough that they have divisions of divisions, and they have this thing called Durrell Sports, and underneath that is a segment where Pacific Cycle sits. There's also a segment for local bike shops called the Cycling Sports Division, and that's where the Cannondale brand comes in. They also have one of the largest brands in Latin America called Caloi. I hope I'm pronouncing that properly. So you see, they're pretty big and they have a large footprint. And even though you've seen some Cannondale bikes here on KevCentral, because I love the Lefty, my major focus is on big box bikes, and that's where Pacific Cycle comes in. So let's talk about some of the brands under Pacific Cycle. And one of the biggies is Schwinn. We saw that in my aluminum comp video. And there's also Mongoose, and those are two of their upper tier big box brands. I don't know that upper tier big box is the right phrasing, but it's two brands that you may actually see some marketing materials for. And there are other names you'll see at a Walmart or other big box store like Roadmaster and Pacific and even Iron Horse. Iron Horse side note, Sears used to have an Iron Horse bike that was basically a rebranded XR Pro, and man, I wanted one of those. I desperately searched for that bike, and this was before I bought the XR Pro, which arguably kind of turned this channel into what it is. But I found one in Miami, Florida, and I almost drove down to Miami, which is a long way from where I live, to pick up this Mongoose XR Pro with Iron Horse branding. So all that being said, you now have an idea of what Pacific Cycle is and what their products are and how those are commonly seen on KevCentral, because over the past 2 years, I've purchased a lot of their bikes. This is the point where I get to that rare opportunity I was talking about, because as a KevCentral subscriber, you're going to get something that you normally wouldn't get somewhere else. Because today you get to ask some questions about brands or bikes that Pacific Cycle makes. Then I'll put together a video with the responses and we'll get to see what the answers are. Obviously every question can't get answered, but I'll pick out some of the best and see what we can get answered. It goes without saying, whether you're into big box bikes or you're not, and that's a very opinionated topic, let's keep it friendly and informative. So make your question count, make it a good one, and it'll have a better chance of being answered. So put on your KevCentral thinking cap, and then post the questions in the comments section below. And once I have enough, I'll send them over, and in the near future, I'll make an upcoming video, and this should be pretty fun, and we'll see what the responses are. Also, if you're one of my patrons, like Red, thanks so much for being a patron, Red. I really appreciate it. Patrons should comment on my Patreon page. I've got a specific post there where you can ask your questions. I want to make sure I give those some consideration. And if you're interested in joining Red and the other patrons, there's a link down in the description. You can click that to learn more and see what the benefits are of being a KevCentral patron. New viewer, subscriber, or patron, and if you are a new viewer, I hope you consider subscribing. I appreciate all of you, and I can't wait to see what questions you come up with. Thanks again for watching another KevCentral video, and have a great day.